As Bob Fuehr likes to tell it, his story is the classic Horatio Alger account of hard work, determination, and perseverance to achieve his dreams. From a simple upbringing in Cleveland, Ohio, to powerful corporate boardrooms and international meetings with foreign leaders, Bob Fuehr has traveled and experienced the United States and the world as a high-level executive for one of America's top 100 companies and the state of Utah. And what is most representative of Bob as an executive and a leader is excellence and achievement. While still in high school, Bob was recruited to work for Ohio Bell Telephone Company and went to training school on the weekends, learning how to become an installer repairman. The skills that he had learned working as a non-management employee from high school through college gave Bob a solid technical background in the business and a high level of credibility with the employees he would later supervise. Years later, when he was responsible for all the installers in St. Paul, Bob would surprise one of his technicians by strapping on a pair of spurs and a body belt and climbing a pole to show him how he wanted the job done. Upon graduation from Case with an electrical engineering degree, Bob was named the Humphrey Fellow at Harvard University and set out for Boston to get his MBA from the Harvard Business School. All this time, Bob continued working for the telephone company and, upon graduation from Harvard, went to work for Northwestern Bell as a supervisor in Minnesota. Moving 7 times over the next 20 years, Bob was constantly rewarded with jobs of increasing responsibility, until being named the Utah Vice President and CEO for U.S. West in Salt Lake City in 1990. For a brief time, he worked as the Senior Vice President of Operations at an internet startup, installing internet facilities in all the Marriott hotels around the world, before being asked to run the Division of Economic Development for the state of Utah up to and through the Olympics. Bob readily accepted and began his third new career, one that enabled him to accomplish another of his priorities. Along the way, Bob found plenty of opportunity to be involved in the communities where he lived, including serving on the board of directors of the United Way, Pioneer Memorial Theater, the Utah Symphony, the YWCA, 15 years on the Board of Fellows at Southern Utah University, 7 of them as chairman, and chairman of the Educational Technology Initiative under Governor Bangerter, where they put computers into schools for the first time, and many, many others. Bob's attitude on the proper role of government was formed first by his parents and later articulated by President Ronald Reagan. Admiring Reagan and remembering his parents' advice, Bob adopted the conservative ideals of self-reliance, personal freedom, limited government, lower taxes, and a strong military as the foundation of his political views.
We need new leadership in Washington if we're ever going to break the current stalemate and get something done. We need people who view their time in Washington as a public service and not as a lifelong career. People with the education and judgment built on a life of experience. People who make the tough decisions to make our country stronger and our lives better.
From being the first generation in his family to go to college, to graduating from Harvard University, from climbing poles as an installer repairman to group vice president and corporate officer, Bob Fuehr has lived the American dream. Let's keep that dream alive, that in America, you can go as high and as far as your hard work and your creativity can take you. May God bless that dream, and may God bless the United States of America.